Hi there, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm back again with another deck tech. Still carrying on going through the commanders that came out in Double Masters 2022. And today's commander is one that is the first time it's actually been printed in a set. Well, I say it's been printed in a set. It was a promo card. And you had to buy a box, if I remember correctly, to pick this card up. But now it's been reprinted into Double Masters 2022, so I figured it's time it got its own little deck tech. So without further ado, as I look around and make sure I'm clicking the right button next, let me proudly present you Firesong and Sunspeaker. Some of you may wonder why I've gone down this route. I'll go through it. So Firesong and Sunspeaker is a 4 red and white legendary Minotaur cleric. 4/6, so not the greatest set of stats in the world, but they're okay. However, it has two very, very interesting abilities. The first one is red instants and sorcery spells you control have lifelink. And whenever a white instant or sorcery spell causes you to gain life, Firesong and Sunspeaker deals 3 damage to target creature or player. They're quite an interesting pairing of abilities. Putting lifelink on anything that's a red instant or sorcery, you're going to be casting a lot of red instants and sorceries and chucking them at creatures, maybe your opponent to finish them off. But giving them lifelink means you're going to bump your life total up every time you play one when you've got this in play. Likewise, gaining some life off your white instants or sorceries means you get to lightning bolt things. Okay then. I mean, yes, it's only creatures or players. You can't target planeswalkers. I'm very aware of that. But, yeah, lightning bolting a player... yeah, okay. Can't see a lot wrong with that so far. So, I decided to play around with this. So, here we go. Here's the deck. This is what you're all here for. Yeah, I'm not hiding anything, just checking. So, started off with some very normal red-white lands. I've included Cabaret Courtyard because that does go and fetch as a mountain or plains. So, it's a nice little fetch land. Clifftop Retreat, Command Towers in here. I'm also playing Cryptic Spires. I did a draft the other week, some of you may have seen it on the stream, and I got a couple of these, and I thought, well, let's just try them out in Commander, see if they're any good or not. When you add them to your Commander deck, you do get to pick the colours of that stage, so, you know, it's another dual land that comes into play tapped. Okay, cope with that. As usual, I'm sure you've all seen it already, Field of Passage, Field of the Dead, Fabled Passage, sorry, and Field of the Dead are in here is normal. I've put Fury Calm Snarling. This is another red-white dual land. We've got a lot of mountains, as you can see. We've got a lot of plains. We've got 10 mountains, 9 plains in the deck. I've chucked in Reliquary Tower. I'm not quite sure why, to be honest. I haven't got any card draw in the deck. However, some of the decks I've run into recently on stream like bouncing things, so I figured this gave us a chance of keeping anything we had in play in our hand if we get it out. So, yeah. Rustfell Bridge, because it's a dual land, it's also indestructible, which is quite nice. Stone Quarry, Sundown Pass, Temple of the False Gods, we need the extra mana occasionally, especially to get Firesong up, because obviously it's quite high casting cost. Temple of the Triumph and Windscarred Crag. Notice, I know this lets you gain life, but it's not an instant or sorcery, so, you know, hey-ho, you don't get to lightning bolt anything, just in case one asked. The usual selection of mana ramps in here. I've got my Mox Tantalite, Sol Ring, Arcane Signet, Boris Signet, and the diamonds for the respective colours. I think that's probably enough. I may be proven wrong. Also in here, you probably spotted Elixir of Immortality. I've knocked it in because we do need to shuffle things back into our library occasionally. And we haven't got that many creatures. If I just move this across, we've got 36 lands, 12 creatures, 51 other cards. So, what are the cards we have got in the deck? This is what people are asking and probably laughing at me for talking rubbish, but that's fine. Feel free to comment below and tell me where I'm going wrong with these, by the way. More the merrier. So, Condemn, Swords to Plowshares, a little bit of control. Yes, we're not going to gain anything off them, but, yeah, they've got to be there. You're playing white deck, you need at least some of these in. You could play Path to Exile here, but I decided against it purely because I don't want to give my opponents extra lands. So that's why I'm playing Condemn and plus Swords. Then we start with the burns, some of the burn spells. Burst Lightning, I'll just do this because it's a promo version. 1 red, 2 damage, 20 target. If it was kicked, does full damage instead. So, you know, 5 mana. gets full damage. It's not great, but a 1 mana shock is absolutely fine once you've got Firesong out. Fiery Impulse is here. Again, this is quite a nice one because we're probably going to have a lot of instances of sorceries in our graveyard, and Fiery Impulse will deal 3 damage if we've got them in there. So, you know, it becomes another Lightning Bolt technically, but only going to creatures. Obviously, we've got Lightning Bolt. You weren't expecting me to be doing this without it, I hope. Shock, Volt Surge. We're not really going to be sacrificing any artifacts as such, so it's just 2 damage to a creature or Planeswalker. If we get to the point where we do need to kill a creature, we can sack one of the artifacts we're going to have in play, but there's not that many of them, so hopefully it'll just be the 2 damage. Wild Slash is another 2 damage shock type creature spell, so that's there. Dazzling Reflection's quite nice. Next time you gain life equal to its power, so if you've got something coming at you that's going to be really, really big and painful to deal with, you can prevent that damage and gain some life and lightning bolt something if you've got Firesong and Sunspeaker in play. Yes, I've done it. Dockside Extortionist, as most of you know, came back in Double Masters 2022. It has gone down in price dramatically. To the extent of which I thought it was worthwhile picking one up now and using on the stream. So yeah, that's on MTGO, I hate to say. In real life, it's still a stupid amount of money. If you're paying cash for this, dollars, pounds, euros, whatever you spend your money in, yeah, it's still expensive. But hey, on MTGO, I picked this up for just under 5 tickets the other day, so it's in the deck now. Right, Lightning Strike, slightly more expensive Lightning Bolt. Smash to smithereens, blow up some artifacts, and hopefully, if we destroy an artifact, deal through damage, gain some life because we have lifelinks. That's nice. I'm not sure if it works, but I'm pretty sure it will do. Twin Bolts, just so you can pick off a couple of 1/1s that may be in play. Birds of Paradise, Llanowar Elves, so on and so forth. Increasing Vengeance is here because I figured it was quite a nice card, and if we can flash back stuff from the graveyard, doing it twice sounds like a good idea to me, so you know, we'll see what happens. Lightning Helix is an interesting one. Now, what I've got to say about all the red and white spells, and there's quite a few dual colour spells in the deck, as you can see. Are they going to work? Don't know. You know, do we get lifelink? Do we do lightning bolt? I mean, technically, if we lightning helix something here, and lightning helix, as you don't know, 3 damage to any target, and you gain 3 life. I'm guessing it triggers twice, so we, you know, 2 mana for 6 damage up to 2 targets. Well, 3 damage to one target, 3 damage to another target, maybe, or 6 damage all to one, and gain 6 life. Seemed like a good plan to try out for me. I've included Thrilling Discovery. It's one of the few card draw things we've got in here. Gaining 2 life, same reason really. Gain 2 life. Maybe we'll get to gain a lot of life off this and draw some extra cards. That's fine. The artifacts I've gone through, I'm not going to bother you again. I went with Ghostly Prison just so we could slow down any attacking. There's not many creatures in the deck. As you've seen so far in this deck, you've only seen 1. Usually in one of my decks by now, you've seen sort of like a dozen, but you've only seen 1 so far, so there's not many in here. So I figured it's worth having Ghostly Prison in just to try and slow down our opponents a tiny bit. Orm's Thunder's in here purely because it destroys artifacts and enchantments, and if we cast it, we get to lightning bolt something. And if we blow up a really annoying enchantment or artifact, if we can kick it, which shouldn't be too hard with this deck, it deals damage equal to that permanent's mana value to target creature, so it gives it a little bit more creature removal. Solemn Offerings in here, gain some life. Lightning bolt something, again, destroy another enchantment or artifact that's annoying us. Teferi's Protection is another card I've picked up. This has gone down in price quite significantly since it came out in Double Masters 2022. So, and I figured at some stage we're probably going to need to save ourselves. So yeah, Teferi's Protection seemed like a good idea to me. The second creature appears is Captain Lannery Storm. This gives us a few treasure tokens, which might help a little bit if we're looking to sack things off to Vault Surge. But it's really just there as an early creature, hopefully getting it for a couple of damage and produce a couple of treasure tokens before someone kills it. Goshintai, I've put a few of the shrines in. I've only put 4 in. So this is the first one from Neon Dynasty. Yep, just make sure I've got the set right. Yeah, it's a 2/2 creature that has a little ability. It could be helpful. Likewise, Honden of Infinite Rage is in here just to ping things as we go along. Yes, we don't gain the life from it, but a little bit of extra control never hurt anyone. Sin Prodder. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may reveal the top card of your library. Any opponent may have you put that card into your graveyard. If a player does, it deals damage to that player equal to that mana's value. Otherwise, you get to draw it. So your opponents have got to make a decision, and we'll see. Right, I've put Wheel of Fortune in here. As I've said before with some of the cards I talk about, Wheel of Fortune is expensive in real life. On MTGO, it's not too bad. When you see the deck list, if you go and look at it, don't worry about the monetary value cost of this deck, but just enjoy it. And if you've got a Wheel of Fortune on MTGO, fine. If you haven't got a Wheel of Fortune and you're trying to build this in real life, go with something a lot cheaper. There are better card draw options out there. You can get the suspend cards still, but I decided to go with the traditional Wheel of Fortune on this because we want to get things in our hand to play. Fiery Temper. In case we get hit with discard, we can ping something for 3, gain 3 life. Once we get Firesong in play. Likewise, Deafening Clarion's in here. Same idea, 3 damage to each creature. Because it has life link, I'm guessing we could gain quite a lot of life if we play this when Firesong's in play. And, you know, it's a white spell as well, so we are going to ping something for an extra 3, so it does help clear the board a little bit. Congregates here. It's a little bit of life gain for us to keep us going. We will obviously ping something when it comes in, but if you're gaining, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 creatures in play, 4 is 8, 5 is 10, 6 is 12 life, so on and so forth, it helps. The next shrine turns up here. I've put the white one in from Neon Dynasty as well, just in case we can need some blockers. Hopefully this will stay in play long enough that we can create some spirits to block stuff with. Likewise, Honden of Cleansing Fires here again, just for our life gain. The other thing I've put in to help us stay alive, which I'm really hoping we'll do, is Moat. Again, it's not the cheapest card. I don't play it that often, but I figured this deck needed it. I'm not sure what it costs in real life, but on MTGO, it's not the worst. It's not the most expensive card in the world, so it's worth having one if you can get one on here. Mizzix's Mastery is in here. At some stage, we're going to have a lot of instants and sorceries in our graveyard. And if we can cast this for the overload cost of 8, getting to play them all again for free, it sounded like a really good plan to me. Likewise, we've got Past in Flames as well, just in case we need to do that. Things happen, they do happen, but you know, we've got these to replace some of the stuff from here. We've also got another one that I'll come to in a minute. Atushi, the Blazing Skies in here. I just wanted something that flew. And at the end of the day, when Atushi dies, 3 treasure tokens help as well. Chain Reaction blows up the world, hopefully, unless you've got someone playing indestructible creatures. But yeah, it gets lifelink, so you know it's dealing lots of damage. I'm not sure how much life we'll gain from it. I'm guessing a fair amount, but we will see. First of the Planeswalkers appears here, Nahiri. I wanted some way to deal with enchantments, tapped artifacts, or tapped creatures, and also a little bit of card draw that helps. -8 is never going to really be of any use to us whatsoever, but the +2 and the -2 could be of benefit. Likewise, if you've been playing any standard recently, you'll have seen Showdown of the Skulls. Am I worried about putting +1/+1 counters on things? No, but having that extra ability to play cards could be useful on our next turn. I'm trying it out. Not sure it should be here, but we'll see. We'll go with it and see what happens. War Leader's Helix is quite nice, especially if we've got Firesong in play. 7 damage to something, gain 7 life. Seemed like a reasonable plan to me. Outlaw's Merriment is just a bit of a laugh. I like this card. I like this card a lot from Throne of Eldraine, as you can see. And it's just fun, really. You know, bit of randomness. I like a little bit of randomness in some of my decks. Yeah, don't care which one of these tokens I get. If I get one, that's fine. Preferably, you know, the human rogue one's always good because you can ping someone. But at the end of the day, hey I'll be happy with a 3/1 that tramples and hastes, or 2/1 cleric with lifelink and haste. Don't forget, if you've got this in play and then you play Showdown as the Skulls, you're going to get at least 1 token when you cast some spells off this and make the token a little bit bigger. Fumigate comes in for some board control. Again, it's going to hopefully, with this in play, Also ping someone for 3, but we'll gain some life that way. Jaya Ballard, this is a sorcery and instant deck mainly, as you know, so it's made sense to me to have Jaya in here. Both of the +1s are very good. The -8, yeah, okay. It does help if we can get it up to -8 when recasting our spells. We can't cast them any other way. It seemed like a good idea, but it's the 2 +1s I'm really interested in with Jaya. Right, Beacon of Immortality's here. Double our life total, shuffle it back in, deal something 3 damage when Firesong's in play. Sounded good. Elspeth's here to wipe the board, really. Is a little bit another extra like board wipe for anything that's really big and annoying, but it also provides us some blockers if we need them, so that's pretty good. Arcane Bombardment. I keep trying to play this card, and a lot of my decks that have red mana in them, where I've got a lot of instants and sorceries, it keeps getting disenchanted very early on in the game. But at the end of the day, I'm going to keep doing it. At some stage, I'm going to get it to go off, and this seemed like another idea to try it out with all the instants and sorceries I have in here. Combustible Gearhulk is the next creature we've got in. Yeah, okay. May not be the greatest red creature in the world. It's an artifact, it's a construct. It does have first strike, though, and it's a 6/6 for 6 mana. Target opponent may have you draw 3 cards. If the player doesn't, you mill 3 cards, and then you ping them for that much damage. So it's worth a try. Likewise, Urtai's in. Italy, the Primal Storm's in here for the same reason. Hopefully we can get to attack with it, exile the top card of each player's library, and then cast them. So, yeah. Why not? We've got to have some way of winning. These are kind of turning into win conditions now with the creatures. Speaking of win conditions, Approach to the Second Sun is probably going to be the main win condition in this deck. I'm sure someone will make me counter it, get rid of it, but I have won a couple of Commander games off Approach to the Second Sun, so might as well try this out again. If we cast this when Firesong's out, which hopefully it will be, we'll get 2 Lightning Bolts something as well for 3 damage. So yeah, Balefire Dragon's in as well. Give a bit more board control. Hopefully we get it to fly in again. It's another little bit of win condition. Likewise, Drakaseth's in as well for the same reason. If we can keep it in play for a turn and get the attacks in, 4 damage to one opponent, 3 damage to each of the other opponents, why not? Let's go for it. Bedlam Reveler is, I've got a feeling I'm going to run out of cards, and I think there's going to be a lot of instances of sorceries in the graveyard. We might as well have this in. And even if we do play it, the chance that we've got lands in our hand, we don't mind discarding lands. Bogdan Hellkite, just to come in and annoy people. Is there better dragons? Probably. Are there better win conditions? Probably. I want to play with this one. I'm not saying this is a win condition, it's more of a board control thing, so we'll see. We've also got Blasphemous Act. This will have lifelink. Dealing 13 damage to each creature could be really good with Firesong and Sunspeaker in play. So we'll see what happens with that. There's a few more, yeah, you thought that was the end, it's not. We've got X spells. I had to play some X spells. It's a red deck at the end of the day. So I went with Banefire, because I'm hoping we can finish people off with this. Devil's Play, so I can hopefully finish someone off with this. Also, it has Flashback, so even though the Flashback is a lot higher, so it's 3 red and X, it's still another way of finishing off your opponent if they're annoying you. Ravaging Blaze, purely to do something to a creature, but it will also, if you've got 2 or more instants or sorcery cards in your graveyard, it'll do that X damage to that creature's controller as well. Not going to complain about that in the slightest. Likewise, Cracklewood Power. Deals 5 times X damage to up to every X target. You want X to be 3, so that's 3, 6, 9. So yeah, 5 times 3 is 15. This will probably finish the game off, so we'll see. But that's it. That's my little Firesong and Sunspeaker deck. I'll be playing it on stream during the course of this week, so please feel free to stop by, see me then. And, you know, the links are down below, the deck list is down below, the Twitch link's down below. You know, hit the subscribe button here on YouTube. Love you to come and follow me. I'm trying to build it up a little bit. We're at 21 so far, so, you know, if I know who you are and you send me a message and say you're number 22, I'll make sure you get mentioned in the next video that I do. But in the meantime, thanks for watching this. Take care, and hopefully I'll see you on the Twitch stream sometime soon. Take care. See you soon. Bye.